Not sure how many of you know what UnionPay is, but we're the payment network from China. The average spend of a Chinese customer on a UnionPay card is $500 as opposed to $120 on average on a Visa or a MasterCard. In terms of their spend preferences, they come to Australia for three things. Number one is shopping, number two is dining, number three is experiences. In terms of dining, they like fine dining and Chinese cuisine. One of the reasons they're coming to Australia is because of the reputation of our cuisine, because of the freshness of our food, because the food that they're getting in China, they know is not natural, they know there are a lot of pollutants in the soil, there are a lot of issues behind the food that they're getting in China. So coming to Australia, having the opportunity to visit Australia and eat our food is a huge opportunity for them, and they really, really enjoy it. In terms of Chinese dining, on average, the Chinese visitor is staying in Australia 10 days. That's the plain average. And most of them will eat out probably, well, every night, but will eat non-Chinese food maximum of 3 times during the visit. The rest of the nights, they'll eat at a Chinese cuisine restaurant, and there's a reason for that. It's a part of the collective. So Chinese culture is all about the collective, it's all about the status, it's all about the recognition, it's all about doing what everyone else has done, it's all about showing and portraying that I can do what other Chinese are doing. So it's also about the comfort, it's also about staying within my comfort zone and about staying within the things I know that I feel comfortable doing. Hence why eating out, it's an experience in itself. I'll go and have a nice Australian cuisine, I'll go and have some Italian, but I'll then go back to my Chinese cuisine because it's what I'm comfortable with, it's what I enjoy, it's what I'm used to, and it is my comfort zone. Face. I cannot state it strongly enough. Face is everything that determines Chinese behavior. It's all about face. Face is about not being embarrassed in public, face is about status, face is about recognition, face is about perception. So a Chinese tourist, generally speaking, will only go into a shop or will only go into a restaurant if they know they'll be welcome, if they know they'll be able to use their UnionPay card to pay, if they know they'll be able to understand the menu, if they know that someone might be able to talk to them in Mandarin. Those are welcome signs for Chinese and will encourage them to visit, in this case, your restaurant. Or face is critical. They do not want to lose face. Just to give you an example, face is very common in Asia, but specifically in China and Japan. Japanese build face based on honor. Chinese is based on status. So hence why Chinese need to portray the status, need to show that they've made it, need to show that they came to a country called Australia, need to show that they went to a restaurant called Keynote, need to show that they were in a place called the Opera House, and they share all that through social media. We cannot underestimate the influence of face when dealing with Chinese and understanding their cultural behavior, understand how they want to be treated when they visit Australia. They do like value for money, so I don't know how many have been in China, but they always want to bargain. But it's not bargaining for the sake of bargaining, it's because they do appreciate value. It's more because they came to Australia. They are affluent, but they came to Australia and they have a lot of things that they're going to buy. They need to do a lot of shopping, they need to do a lot of dining. So every cent that they can use to get more from their experience in Australia, they'll want to do that. So if they can get a free dessert or a free entree or a buy one get one free, things like that, they'll always value that because it means they'll have more money to buy the things that they came to buy in the first place. And then it comes back to social media. 75% of Chinese are now online 24/7. They're connected, they all have smartphones. That's the highest penetration in the world by far. And social media is not because they just like socializing and checking the Facebook. Facebook is not allowed in China. It's because the world now is being determined by the power of social media. I don't know how many of you have heard of WeChat, but if you haven't, you should. WeChat is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, even Tinder on steroids. And every single Chinese now is on WeChat. They have a presence on WeChat. And it's not because they just like socializing, no, it's because, again, it's the power of the collective. On WeChat is how they find out, okay, I'm gonna go to Australia, where am I gonna go? Or what tour group am I gonna join? Or what is the handbag that I need to buy? Or what is the restaurant I need to visit? Where is everyone else going? Because that's the place I need to go to. For us, when we travel overseas, we want to go to that place that no one knows. We want to dine in that restaurant that no one has heard of, and we'll brag about that. Chinese are the other way around. They'll brag because they went to a place where everyone else went, and they'll brag because that is what is going to be socially recognizable for their group, and that is what's going to build status for them, and is going to buy them face. So that's the whole perception. So if they show a photo of a restaurant, of a meal, which they will on WeChat, they will share it, is because they're buying status within their group. To the point that if you have a tour group or you have any group visiting your restaurant or your venue, little things like identifying the senior person in the group, that takes a minute, and it'll lead to a very, very pleasant experience for the group. Identifying the leader of the group, the most senior person, and giving them special treatment, making sure that they feel comfortable, will mean that their tour group or the group that is sitting at the table will have a more pleasant experience, because it means that you understand the Chinese culture. A little things from a culture point of view that can make a big difference. So going back to WeChat and Alipay or Alibaba, they're the huge drivers of Chinese culture at the moment, and is how they're interacting on a social level, and how they're transacting, and how they're linking with all their group. And that links back to UnionPay. So when Chinese are going to pay, obviously they have UnionPay cards in the wallets. They have 5, 6, 10 UnionPay cards in the wallet, and it's the way they want to pay. If you have a store signage, if you have a decal, if you have a sticker that says UnionPay is welcome, it's like a breath of fresh air for them. It means I can go in. They probably understand that I'm Chinese. They probably will understand more about my culture. They probably have a menu in English and in Chinese. They probably will welcome me. So having a UnionPay sticker on your restaurant that says, yes, we accept UnionPay, it takes you leaps and bounds ahead of your competitors, because it means the wealth of Chinese, more than 1 million that are now visiting, almost 1 million that are living here, will prefer your restaurant and not someone else's. So it's basically to understand the power of the Chinese culture, the way they communicate, the way they're socializing, and the way they interact with non-Chinese cultures.